Welcome to Shadow of Truth, and today is Thursday, April the 13th, 2017, and your hosts are Rory Hall from thedailycoin.org and Dave Kranzler from investmentresearchdynamics.com. Dave, what's going on?
Well, the S&P 500 started off, looked like it was going to be another big down day, but they got it back to green, so everything's good now.
Woohoo! Well, we're
Economy's
saved.
strong. There's plenty of jobs for people to find, according to Janet Yellen.
Well, and she's cool again, you know.
And we got Hillary Trump in the form of a male body in the White House now.
Hillary Chump the Trump.
Or Donald Clinton, whatever, however you want to call him now.
Donald Duck. Oh, well, let's jump in and make it happen.
Sounds good. What's the information?
Well, what I found, I don't know if you listened to that interview, either one of I released two interviews yesterday, one with Jeff Brown and the other one with Ken Shortgen. And both of those conversations revolved around what's going on in the gold world as far as the new digital gold, and got confirmation from both of them about what's going on in China with the WeChat digital gold that we talked about on Monday a little bit. And the CME is taking on a platform. I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head, but they are introducing a digital gold through the blockchain as well in
What do you mean digital gold?
Well, like gold money.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Whereas gold money, you can get your physical gold, but it's more of a process. You have to get it physically mailed to you and so forth. In China, you can just go into a bank, say you acquire a few grams of gold or a couple of ounces or all the way up to a kilo, and you take your phone into the nearest bank. You transfer it to your gold account, and you say, I want to withdraw that gold. They hand you the gold. You walk out the door with your physical gold.
Oh, well, so these are kind of like small denomination futures contracts that allow you to take delivery of small denominations of gold.
Correct. And on the WeChat platform, you can get as small as 1/1000th of a gram, and all the way up to 1 kilo of gold. You can transfer that phone to phone, just flying around.
I'm surprised the COMEX or the CME is offering that.
Well, they're starting that up in Europe and Dubai. The other really interesting gold news that's being underreported is the Dubai gold market that's coming online, that is going to be operating in conjunction with the Shanghai Gold Exchange. And this is speculation is currently, or it may be confirmed, that it is specifically for the change in Sharia law, allowing the Muslims to take on more physical gold or whatever. So,
what was your source on that?
Ken Shortgen. He was reporting on that. He's got an article over on his website. I'll put a link in the description, and so that everybody can take a look at it. It's pretty cool.
You know what his source was?
I can't remember right off the top of my head. It's that was yesterday, and I've slept since then. So, but it's but what's really interesting about all of this is that, once again, as we reported on Monday, we've got the BRICS gold marketplace that's under development right now, that's going into place in Beijing and in Moscow, and this new Dubai market. And all three of these new markets are going to tie in and work through the Shanghai Gold Exchange. So you've got the mothership being the SGE, and it's going to feed these other three markets, which is, that's a lot of gold. That's going to be a lot of gold movement right there.
Yeah, no, that's. I mean, it's obvious what's going on. I mean, the Eastern Hemisphere is developing a liquid physical market out, away from the Western paper market, the paper fraudulent market.
Yes.
And again, it's I mean, it's just another. It's one of well, to me, it's one of the primary indications that the balance of power, political, economic, and military, is shifting toward the East and away from the West.
Well, I mean, I think the West is pretty well done, and like we've been talking about, it seems that what happened in Syria with Trump launching those missiles, that they're probably, not probably, they are going to, at least Russia is going to start fast tracking to move away from the dollar even quicker, get their systems, make sure that they're up and in place as quick as possible. I mean, why
Yeah,
wouldn't they?
I don't know if the bombing was really sort of the impetus there to to de-emphasize the dollar and move away from it and replace it with alternative trading currencies. I think that's been kind of going on. I don't think you can do it all at once. I mean, if you could do it all at once and not cause harm, China would just unload all of its treasuries.
Yes,
So,
they would.
I mean, Russia could unload all of its treasuries. I mean,
They don't
its
have very many,
holdings
do they?
are, something like what, about 100 billion now, or 110 billion, whatever that number is. It's
Small.
it's yeah, they could unload their treasury holdings in one shot if they wanted to, I think, without distorting the market too much. But no, China, they need to try and finesse their way out of the treasury. So I think that's part of the reason why these guys aren't like, overnight saying, okay, they're not resetting the international monetary system overnight.
Right.
I mean, you want to see what happens to a currency, to a primary currency when you reset it overnight. You just got to look at what happened in Weimar Germany.
Well, there you go. I'd like a barrel of cash, please.
Well, I mean, they revalued them. They canceled the mark and reissued a new mark, and I think the conversion ratio was you received 1 mark for every billion marks that you had in the bank.
Jeez.
And
not a very good valuation.
Really, I mean, it's probably a tired theme, but it is pretty remarkable how similar the decline of Germany back then is parallel to what's happening in the United States now. I mean, Germany had become over indebted. They had used all their gold to in repayment of that debt, and they still had a lot of debt. A lot of it was legacy debt from World War I, and we could just say, okay, it was debt because of their military activity. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
And their gold was gone, and I'm just assuming the rest of the world got to the point where it's like, no, we're not taking any more paper marks. You got to revalue it. So that's what happened.
Well, go ahead.
I mean, it collapsed. It collapsed the German system for a period of time, and that's what's going to have to happen over here if we ever wanted to do a proper reset. And that's what could have happened in 2008. But of course, they weren't done. The elitists weren't done looting the system.
They got to be getting pretty close. There's not much left.
No, there's still retirement assets.
Yes,
that's still in the trillions, and they'll work on that.
Apparently they are, because that's why it's in the news so much. I mean,
that's
otherwise,
right.
Otherwise it wouldn't be, headlines everywhere you turn.
That's right. I just wanted to touch really briefly on the remarkable transformation of Trump,
Oh, my
and then we
goodness.
can circle back and finish up with more on gold, because gold's very exciting right now, and I think a lot of people are thinking it's because of the geopolitical stuff, and that's not why. But in my opinion. That's part of it. But it's interesting because for everyone who voted for Trump as a vote not to have Hillary, well, guess what? Now they have Hillary again.
There
And
you go.
not because Hillary's back on the political scene hard and fast, but because all the policies that Trump's now pivoting to and all the policies he's pivoting away from were the same policies, same policies and the platforms Hillary was running on.
Every one of them.
Every one of them,
Incredible.
including he was going to. Remember he said he was going to get rid of Yellen, and now all of a sudden, I guess he said yesterday or the day before that he'll probably keep her.
Yellen's cool.
Yeah, and people like criticize me for not voting, and they wonder why. Well, that's why. You were voting for the same thing.
Same snake, two heads.
Right. That's exactly right. It was two heads that were in the body of the snake is the deep state.
It's incredible.
And collectively everyone that's, part of the deep state.
Yeah, he's lost all of his credibility, and just like the show title from Monday, all trust in the US has been bombed away. I mean, and it was thrown out on Thursday, April the 6th. And ever since then, you can see and hear how dramatically things have changed as far as what Trump is saying, what he's doing. Zero Hedge just in the last hour reporting that we've bombed Syria again, and that's what Syria is saying, and Russia has drones on the way to take a look at what's going on. I mean, and Russia's already said, we ain't putting up with any more of your nonsense at all. And Lavrov told Tillerson that right to his face. We're done with you guys. We've done the right thing. We've worked through diplomacy. You guys lie. We're done with it. Any more acts? Any more of any more bombings? Any more attacks? Any more of that? We're coming after you. So we'll see what happens.
That's right. Now, just to kind of circle back to gold, what happens historically when geopolitical events cause gold to pop up, and we saw this last week with when the bombs were launched, or presumably the first round of bombs were launched, gold popped up, and then it got hammered back down to where it was before the news of the bombs let out. But this week's a different story, and
much different.
There's the investor sentiment's been fairly negative. I had some subscribers ask me about the Commitment of Traders report. Oh, it looks like they're getting ready to take a wrecking ball to the price of gold and silver. And I said, well, maybe not. I don't know. Let's just wait and see what happens. One of these days they're going to lose control of the paper market. And if this was just geopolitical events driving the price of gold, we would have seen it fade this week. And gold has been, to be honest, gold was stronger this week than even I expected. And there is some geopolitical uncertainty that's baked into the ingredients for the higher price of gold. But I think it's also starting to become a lot more obvious to at least professional investors that the U.S. economy is circling the toilet drain and about to go down the toilet pipe into the sewer. And that's obviously going to mean I don't know if they'll raise interest rates, but they're either going to do something to try and stimulate more lending and credit, or they're going to do some outright money printing. And I think that's part of what the precious metals market is smelling here.
I would agree with that. I think QE is getting they're getting the printing press warmed up right now. I mean, and gold and silver. Gold right now, according to investing.com, is running about $650 an ounce higher, silver's about 17 cents higher. And this is coming off of the absolute highs that I saw earlier, where gold was like 14 or 15, maybe even higher than that. And silver was about 30 cents higher. So they've lost somewhere around half or more of the gains that they'd made overnight, but they're still pretty strong because they're starting to bottom right around here. And that's looking at the Kitco chart, where I can actually see the line, and they're both seem to be kind of bottoming. Silver is actually moving back north. So
gold's about $6 off its overnight high in futures basis. However, it's $34 higher than it was just 3 days ago.
Exactly.
So if this was just the geopolitical tensions heightening, gold would probably be back down closer towards where it was 3 days ago than where it is now.
Yeah, but I've got both of the Kitco charts, and it's the 3-day line graph. They're right there at the top of the website, and you can actually see that these last 3 days going up, and it's pretty dramatic.
Oh, here's the other key driver here with the price of gold is what Trump had said about the dollar yesterday, and it goes back to, I mean, it's what I said and what we said and what we presented on this show in late December, early January. We said, part of one of the things Trump wants is a weaker dollar, and he issued comments yesterday that echoed that. And
it lost some value last night, didn't it?
I'm sorry.
Didn't the dollar go down?
Yeah, the dollar got slammed yesterday on Trump's comments, and that was what pushed gold into the high 1270s and low 1280s. And there's no way. I mean, he's not going to be able to do it anyway. He's not going to be able to revive U.S. manufacturing and the U.S. export engine, even with a lower dollar. It's too late for that. But his only shot at even making an attempt at it is to get the dollar a lot lower. And I think if you notice, all of a sudden the Trump administration is backing off from this idea that China is a currency manipulator.
Yes.
Because I think the U.S. is getting ready to implement a program of manipulating the U.S. dollar a lot lower. And that probably will involve printing more money at some point.
That would be I think QE, like I said earlier, they're warming up the printing press right now. So, I mean, it's obvious that our economy, they can't lie their way out of it. I mean, they're going to try, of course, but it's becoming clear to anyone with half a brain that something is very, very wrong with our economy. Good luck with that.
Right.
Well, Dave, what else? Where should we go from here? Back to bed?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a long weekend. I'm actually kind of psyched. The markets are closed tomorrow. I can probably get a lot of work done.
Well, all right. Well, I guess we'll pick it up on Monday and see where we stand, and just take it from there.
I did want to mention that there's actually a subscriber who showed me the idea, and I had a long chat with management and the CEO yesterday. I've got a great new junior mining stock idea. That's another one of the ones that I like to cover, which is ones that aren't well followed by analysts or other newsletter writers. And this is one of the, I think it's probably going to be one of the better new ideas that I've presented since I started the Mining Stock Journal.
Cool. When are you going to release that?
A week from today.
A week from today. So next Thursday. All right.
Yes.
Well, we'll remind everybody next Thursday about that.
Maybe Monday. Thursday will be too late.
Well, all right. Well, all right, Dave. I guess we'll just talk to you on Monday.
Have a good long weekend.
You too, buddy.